Now, welcome to the PCF Thermometer. It's a new look and it's a quarterly bulletin which captures movements in markets and prices of commodities and deals over the last 90 days. The key theme in this quarter's thermometer is really the rollout of vaccines, and hopefully we're moving towards the end of this global pandemic. The IMF says there's $12 trillion being spent globally on stimulus to help us emerge from this pandemic. And if you use a standard multiplier of 5 times, that's on the basis people might save, say, 20 cents in the dollar every dollar of income they get and spend the other 80 cents. There's a standard multiplier of 5. So 5 times 12 trillion is $60 trillion being spent to try and stimulate the global economy. And I don't think we've seen a synchronized emergence from a crisis since the Second World War. So we're almost in uncharted territory, and I think it augurs really well for the markets and really well for commodity markets and commodity prices. We've seen lithium have a good run in the first quarter of this year, up almost 50%, and the other one to gain is copper. And they call it Dr. Copper because it leads the economy. So they've really gone on a tear. Gold and nickel are sort of steady to easing off, but I think there's more to come in the months ahead. Our top 150 companies on the ASX, these are the mining companies by market cap. They're up 4% compared to this quarter last year, and the Canadian companies are up 6%. So slightly bigger gain in North America. In terms of transactions, we've seen an increase of 15% in the number of deals in this quarter compared to the same quarter in 2020. We've gone from 470 deals to 550 deals, and the amount of money raised from 1.2 billion to 3.8 billion. So you can see a real uptick in the amount of capital that's coming into the market. And also of note is most of that money is being raised on the ASX. Typically in the mining markets, the best valuations are done on the TSX and the TSXV, and they've led it mainly because their neighbours are the US, the biggest economy in the world, and 70% of all the money that comes into Canada comes from the United States. So traditionally, the best valuations have been there. But the ASX has been shooting the lights out for the last 18 months or so. We've dominated the market in terms of IPOs, which is the key barometer for risk around the market, around the world. So we had 24 out of the 29 IPOs globally last year, and we've 8 out of 9 IPOs for mining companies globally this year. So the ASX is doing really well and having its time in the sun. Whether that will continue, I don't know. The outlook, I think, for markets looks really strong. The missing thing is inflation. There's no real signs of that at the moment. We've seen bond yields around the globe start to head up, and they've come off their lows in anticipation of maybe an uptick in inflation and an uptick in global growth, but it really hasn't routed the market. So that's one thing to maybe look out for. But what do you invest in when you see inflation picking up? Commodities. So we're in the right space. So I hope you enjoy this quarter's thermometer. You can download it on the LinkedIn site, the PCF LinkedIn site, or the PCF webpage, and we'd love to have your feedback and hope you enjoy it. Thanks very much.